Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new, you're going to want to start with that video there. Give me 1 second. All right, so do forgive me for that. All right, so yeah, start here. If you're trying to know what that bar will be before it closes, go ahead and take that in. All right, I'm not going to delay you any longer. I had to take that call there. But yeah, I threw this online a little earlier. We had targets below. We're going to take a look at this chart. All right, we have some targets below, and again, that's that trend. It gives you your target. All right, now these are some updates that I made. There's some more information on this chart, but that's where they were going. All right, and here I'm gonna show you this too. There's a lot of stuff on this chart. I did tell them that, hey, but there's some dots on these bars. You can see a cyan dot there on that bar. You can see one up here. Just I'm not going to show you the dots though. I'm not going to do that, but I definitely wanted to show you some of what is on here. All right, so there's some updates that I made, and I'm going to read the chart in real time as well. All right, because that's what you're here to do. You're here to learn how to read the chart with nothing on it. But first, let me give to those that have the indicator suite. If you're not seeing these updates, I want to go ahead and let you know you're going to have to advance another payment for the updates. It took me quite a bit of time to compose all of this stuff here. So but yeah, you're going to get the amount of the bar here from high to low as well as the real time count. So how much is in the bar is going to tell you that. And of course down here, this is going to change based on the bar. So if this one turns red, it's going to turn red down here and give you that value. And then here, I just got roughly about 2 hours, I want to say, about 2 hours worth of value on the bar. So that way you'll know what you're dealing with. So those are just three things that I added to the suite as well. Here's some zones. Here's the name of them up here. The Quick Field Trend Finder Pro Zones. These are a little bit dialed back as far as the frequency, so they're not really going to plot as much, but they're significant. I can tell you that they are. They're not my favorite, but they're significant. As you can tell, we're in it right now. Unless they go through it, it won't disappear. But if they are to go through it, then yes, it'll disappear. But they're coming out of it for right now. For right now, they're coming out of it. I do suspect that they'll stay down, but we'll see. I mean, they kind of did this before. They kind of did this before, but we'll see. We'll just see. If they're going to stay down, you just need them under here. All right, just say that. So, if they're going to stay up, try to get them up here. Just try to get them up here. Definitely anywhere in here will be okay. I'm not going to say you're out in the neck of the woods, but definitely above here, you're okay. But once they break down below this area here, you should be fine to see them down even further. I'll just say that. All right, so here, um, I think I'm missing a chart. I think I'm missing a chart. I only showed you two zones, I believe. This is your trend zone. So this was in that video. I believe I'm missing a chart because I think the next one here, yeah, that's just a plain chart. Yeah, that's a plain chart. I'm missing a chart there, but nevertheless, there's four zones in total. All right, so there's four zones in total, and this is your trend. So this is plotting your trend with your targets. As you can see, here's some targets down here below. They just need to get here. And again, the zones are customizable with the vertical and of course the horizontal text. You can pull them a little bit away from the bars or whatever you would like to do, and the text as well. All right, so they're not the same. I do have four of them. I thought I had put four up here, but nevertheless, I can't recall. The phone call kind of threw me off there, but nevertheless, that's what you got. So these are the trend zones. So our 7 bars, we're going to go with that right now. The times of sales, you saw it in the snapshot there. You can place it on this side of the market if you would like to do that as well. All right, and so that's what you got. All right, and this information up here again is just the target. Should they get there, it'll disappear. If they come back and go that way and blow the trend, then it'll disappear as well. All right, so those are some updates that I made. There's more to come. There's more to come, but those are the starting updates that I made, and I do hope that you will enjoy them. So yeah, they're pulling into this. All right. And so when you first pull up the chart, if you're new to trading, the first thing I want to tell you, just put your crosshairs dead in the center of the chart. That's the first thing you're going to want to do. Make it really simple. And come up to your bezel, SO, okay, and then go right back into that same place and do the same, but to the downside. Once you achieve that, and we're going to give a take, just draw this line straight across. All right, now again, we're going to give a take. It probably could come down just a hair because we want to be at the midpoint, just at the midpoint. So that probably can come down just a hair. All right, all right. So yeah, right about there. That'll do. All right, so yeah, and now the next thing you'll want to do, all right, I'm just going to read this to you for a little bit. You're going to come halfway on this, all right, just halfway of this area. So this area right here, just try to divide it in half. Don't worry about what's going on over there. That's even though you saw them zones, don't worry about that. I'm gonna teach you how to just read it, all right, just how to read it. Just keep focus of what's happening. That's all. So as you can tell, they're already kind of responding here. Can they get up and just go ahead and go? It'll be fantastic if they would because we have a trend looming back here. We have one, we have a two, we have three, we have four, five, six, and let's get the highest one here, and here's seven. So now you have seven. And clearly they've already made the distance. You would measure that from low to high, the lowest point of price where price stopped, all the way up to the highest point of where price stopped, which was on that red bar. So right here on that red bar, and then you would just project that. All right. And any subsequent move, just do the same. How about that? Just make it simple. Don't make it if they didn't want to make it right there. That's fine. They're almost about to make it now. All right. So the next thing that we're going to be looking for, can we get the midpoint of this live candle, which would roughly be here by the time it finished? We're at 36, so it's going to finish bullish. It will. 24 may cause a problem and bring them back at us, but it should be, yeah, it should be roughly about. I don't know if they can push it. They may push a bit more, but it should be right about there. Either way, though, the midpoint is above that high. This is your stop bar for the most part. Now, what do you do with that information? They kept going great. I thought 24 may bring them off that high, but definitely 17. All right, so here we go. Yeah, no, they pushed past 17, so they should keep going. Absolutely, it's going to end green. So you would take the distance. Now, if you're doing one bar, you do that. But if you're going to do a two-bar setup, which I suggest you do that, don't rob yourself of an opportunity here. Try to do that. All right, and that's saying that they're going to get up here to 489.75. That's what that's saying. Okay. So remember, the zone was right there, but try not to do that. A lot of people want to sell pivots, and it's a way to do that. It's a way to do it. But start here. All right. So I want to teach you the correct way of going about it first. All right. So try to start here before you start reaching to do stuff like that. I don't want you to get yourself in trouble. All right. So they just need to get there. Now, oftentimes, what ends up happening, right? What ends up happening, they'll pull back into your threshold of your bar. Let's project this way. Your threshold, give or take, something to this nature. All right. Now, I particularly like the bar here because this is where we're getting our absolute low of our distance. This is where we're grabbing it from. All right, so I like to give them just that. All right, so if I'm going for the two bars, can they come here and then go back? Yeah, they could. But sometimes the market, it just likes to spend a little time before it gets on its way. Because remember, the thing down at the bottom, that's invaluable, the time. All right, I'm not going to move the chart so you can see the numbers. I'm not going to move it. But that's invaluable. This is the thing that's not mostly paid attention to, and this is what I teach on the private community. And I'm starting to do a bit more of it here because I want to make sure I eradicate the idea of it being a hindsight thing. I don't do hindsight. I put it up here in the header, and I even went as far as went on and let you know. We're going to tell you what the bar going to be before it even closes. So no hindsight, no hindsight. We're not doing that. And I've been going over this for the past month and some change. We're at almost 10 minutes here, so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's see, can we get them up higher? They still haven't reached here. They broke this high. Now, I'll be fair and just tell you this. Be careful with that. When they break highs, just be careful, or lows. Just be careful, all right? Just be careful with that, all right? Because it's an environment that you have three types of traders out here, all right? And there's people that like to catch that break, okay? They like to jump in it and try to, get something off of that break. There's some that wants to do this when it comes this way. They want to go that way. And then of course you are going to be this one that I'm trying to teach to go with them. Right? Just try to go with them. Don't eat both of these guys here. The one that want to do this after the break, and this fellow here that want to go this way. Not exactly what you want to do. All right, just not what you want to do. Because most of the time you're taking profits on the breaks. Most of the time that's what's happening. Depends on how they behave before they break it. Now I'm not gonna say anything more. All right, I'm not gonna say anything more about that. We're still waiting for this. All right, so we're still waiting for that. All right, so remember, try to start here. Try to start here. It's really important that you do so. Now, let me tell you what else you're looking for. All right, I want to make sure that this is simple. I'm gonna get off here in just a few minutes. We already talked about the midpoint exceeding, but I'm gonna draw it out. All right, so we want the midpoint because we're going up. We want the midpoint exceeding. If you're going down, you want the midpoint exceeding. All right, that's all. Now, the next thing you'll want to find is the small body, bigger body. So you want this body to fit in there twice. It may not have this. That's fine. And if that's not there, the next thing that you'll want to see, and either one of these could work in any given circumstance, but you want to try to get all three of them together. You want the big wick, little wick. All right. Now, should you find that, let me see, can I find a couple scenarios of it for you here? We had it here, but it didn't really go that far. That sucks. Let's find it. That's okay. We got it right there. All right. So just try to find that. Let me see. That ain't bad. That's not bad. That body can fit in there twice. That's not bad. So it's all over the chart if you look for it. All right. Even here. All right. So just try to go with them. That's just my point. Try to find them. Majority, remember, it compels the minority to follow. And so you want to make sure that you're utilizing principles, all right, when you trade. It's just like what we do with everything else in life, so it's a function to it, all right? So we can't just do whatever we want. And the chart is the same thing. It's a place of decisions. Whenever you have a thought, you have the end in mind. And so the market behaves in the same way. And that's why, you see, that's why you would end up with this, all right? So whenever it stops, just know it has the end in mind because it's a place of decision. So whoever comprised this whole experience know exactly what they plan to do with it. And don't you kid yourself, they will do it. And so here, one would say, yeah, that might be all of it as well. All right, so let's go with that. That's all of it. So that's suggesting, all right, because the market suggests that it will do a particular thing. All right, it's in that threshold. Now that's saying they're coming down here. All right, now I know the chart scale just moved. Now give me a second. I'm gonna teach you how to read your bezel. One more time. Here we go. We're not too far off. Let's just move this one last time. Now I provide you a chart scale that doesn't move. I do provide you that. All right, so let's just move this down just a hair because it's still a little high. All right, we want to kind of leave that there. That's not too bad. I'm gonna just put something on top of that. All right, so we're gonna kind of go like this. I'm gonna just draw a little zone up to the midpoint, just so we can leave that one in place. You get the concept. That's the most important part. You get the concept. Let's just put this green. All right, so I'm gonna teach you how to look at the chart with absolutely nothing. All right, so there's nothing here. All right, now again, you just apply what we did from the beginning when we drew this. You just keep applying that moving forward. All right, because the scale here, the bezel, it will adjust. It will constantly adjust, and you just got to keep mind of the center of the chart. Okay, it's like the cost of your thought. When you have a thought, again, you have to weigh out whether or not it's even worth you pursuing that thought. And so the chart has an internal value, if you will, that allows for time to kind of level out the playing fields based on whoever's participating. All right, I'll say it that way. All right, remember I told you the three people that's in here? And so it's going to do a couple different things, and someone's going to be wrong, and hopefully it's not you. I mean, the market is twice as likely to do this, right? Twice as likely to do this, right? There's three participants here, but it's twice as likely for it to do this. I just want to have you know that, and it's based on something else. I just can't disclose that here. All right, so just try to keep that in mind. All right, so now we're pushing 15 minutes. I don't want to be much longer here. I can't stay much longer, I must say. So let me just see if we can get a reaction out of this zone. And then I want you to go back to your charts. It's 7:44, all right, 7:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want you to go back to your charts and take a look and see, just see whether or not it made it here. Because I'm about to get off here. I am. This isn't bad. I mean, it got almost there. It got almost there. That's not bad. But remember, all of it. That's all of it. Right? That's all of it. It's a new high, so you got to kind of expect that as well. All right, so remember what I said from the beginning about whether or not it's going to go higher, what you need to look for if it wants to stay down moving forward. All right, so I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.